Roughly 8 million high school students play sports. I am one of these 8 million, and I play at Mattituck High School. Mattituck is a small school located on the east end of Long Island. Mattituck is a special place that takes pride not only in their academics, but also in their athletics. This great Mattituck athletic department is filled with coaches and athletes who constantly better themselves and others in everything they do on and off the field. As one of these athletes, I feel that Mattituck is a special place that has impacted me greatly. I felt I couldn't be the only one, so I decided to find out just how and why Mattituck Sports affected people's lives so much.
My name's Vicky Harkin.
I'm Xavier Allen.
Hi, my name's Kevin Chartrand.
And I play volleyball.
And I play basketball.
Coach Corey Dolson. I coach girls tennis, boys tennis, and I coach varsity wrestling. I've been coaching wrestling for 15 years.
My name is Joe Vasilicozo, Coach Vass. I was here at Mattituck in the late 80s, early 90s. Was able to come out here and coach the boys soccer team, and that was the main sport I coached, but I did coach other sports here, but mostly boys soccer.
I've been teaching at Mattituck this is my 19th year. I've coached sports here at Mattituck for all 19 years. My first 6 years I coached girls track, and for the last 17 years I've been a JV basketball coach here at Mattituck, and with that comes along helping out the varsity basketball program.
A small school that we have, I think our athletic programs are very, very successful. I think a lot of it has to do with the athletes. I think a lot of it has to do with the parents. I think we have a great group of parents across the board in all the sports here. And I think we have a lot of dedicated coaches that really make the difference as well.
How do you find Mattituck kind of unique from other schools, especially because you coached at other schools and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other schools that I have coached at are bigger schools. Mattituck, it's a small pool of athletes that are a lot of times competing in 3 different sports. You don't see that a lot today in 2020. A lot of students are specializing in one sport and doing it year-round. With the small pool that we have, every season wants to have the athletes come and participate, and I think we do a pretty good job here of sharing this, the athletes. As far as sports affecting the student here at Mattituck, I think it's what drives a lot of students to come here every day. Not a lot of kids want to get out of bed and come to school, and I think Mattituck Sports really gives students that extra motivation to come here, and they look forward to their after-school sports, the relationships they build with their teammates and their coaches.
What coach has most impacted your life?
Definitely Mr. Massa. He's taught me a lot of things that I definitely would not have learned if I didn't play volleyball. He's taught me how to really bond with my teammates, and he's taught me to be mentally strong.
Coach-wise, it's kind of tough. I wrote down 5 coaches. It's really hard to pinpoint one, only because I think they all had very different roles in my life. Coach Tuffy, that's no longer there, he was my softball coach, and he was able to fine-tune all of my skills. I'm not bragging on myself by saying I'm a natural athlete. It's just a fact, and Tuffy really refined my skills. Obviously, Coach Farrell had a massive impact in kind of making me grow up as a person. And that was just really challenging me. More teachers, they were never really coaches to me, but I don't know if Mr. Massa, who teaches math, is still there. Mrs. Berry, who's my gym teacher, and Coach Litchell, who is also my gym teacher. The 3 of them had such an integral role at teaching me about life.
I'll say Mr. Elwood, or Coach Elwood, whatever you want to call it. He impacted my life the most because he's more of he's not just a coach, he's like a friend, family friend. He's basically family now. We talk outside of practice, talk outside of basketball. So like, we go to his house sometimes, we eat, we just hang out. He's like more of like all around good guy to my family and I, and he's more than just a coach, I would say.
Erin Gibbons. I graduated Mattituck High School in 1996. I played soccer and basketball for Mattituck. The coach who most impacted my life was Joe Vasilicozo. He was the Mattituck boys varsity soccer coach when I was playing. He coached us for one summer, the girls varsity soccer team. and he moved me from center mid to striker. That move allowed me to play soccer in college because I would not have been able to play Division I soccer as a center mid. He also taught me some of the most valuable things I've ever learned, such as discipline, commitment, and he fostered the passion that I had for soccer in a way that allowed me to develop as an athlete.
You know, I like to think that our relationship was beyond the soccer field. You know, people always talk about social media and Facebook. One of the nice things about Facebook is a lot of my players we're in contact with. You know, I speak to Greg Giordano, you know, speak to, you know, Ryan Evans, you know, Rob Meehan, you know, Sean Bowen, you know, those guys. I get to speak with them. I get to see their families grow. We were close. I loved them, you know, and I said many times during when I coached them, you really love the guys because they became your kids. You know, they became your family. They became, you know, everything you did. You woke up about it. You thought about it. How to help them get better on and off the field. And I cared about that. You know, I cared about, you know, what type of people they're going to be. You know, I wanted to win, but I wanted to win the right way. I wanted to win that when they left, they knew that we did it the right way. We didn't cheat. We worked hard. No shortcuts. And I think that impacted their lives going forward. But I always felt close to the guys. It was very hard leaving here when I ended up leaving, going to another school. But you know, it's those are probably the best years of my life. You know, as a coach and as a teacher.
What is the Mattituck community like, in the environment of Mattituck feel like towards sports?
Yeah, it's good. We have a lot of support. They just show a lot of love. They all come out and go to our games, no matter if we're a good team or a bad team, doesn't matter. They're all gonna just show us their support and some Mattituck pride. So I really like them, and they're good for that.
The community is definitely like one of the most supportive communities that I've ever been involved in. I have lived in other towns, so this one is definitely like the most special to me because everyone's very supportive, and it honestly feels like a family. And it's really nice, like going out on the court and knowing that you have a whole crowd there, like standing behind you.
So, because Mattituck was such a tiny town and such a small district, there's this sense of family no matter where you went. And I think when you play sports, it's really what everybody lives for in that community when it is school season. One other thing I guess I could add about the whole family aspect, because we had the opportunity to go to the state Final Four, me personally, in multiple sports, that police escort on the way home and having the entire community out in front of the high school, like I just gave myself the chills. Like that's what I remember most about, you know, competing postseason, and that it somehow the parents, the families, the community, they all got to the school before we got there. That when we were rolling up, it was like a party in itself, and that's something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
I think it's a special place. I think we achieve, you know, great things both academically and athletically for, again, being such a small school. I think the community is super active in just about everything that we do, not just from parents-wise. I think like a lot of the business owners, we have places like Amirati's, guys that, you know, are from Mattituck that, you know, they supply all the athletic teams with food, and they go out of their way to really support Mattituck athletics and just Mattituck in general. And I think, you know, there's a ton of small local businesses around here that do that. You know, for our wrestling tournament, we have, you know, a ton of businesses donate stuff and help us out to raise money for the team. And I know, you know, across the board, all the athletic teams are really supported by the community. So I think, you know, Mattituck is really set up where, because it's so small, I think everybody takes pride in the school district, right? I think when you're at a bigger school, maybe it's so big, so many people don't know so many people, that I think it's a little bit less prideful. I think here everybody takes pride when Mattituck does good in anything, you know. So I think that's what sets it apart.
Since you were coaching there, what do you feel like the alumni was like coming back? And
you know, the alumni was always really proud of the place that they played. You know, they were always amazed at the progress we made as a program. I always believed in that once you're a Tucker, you're always a Tucker. So even though you come through the program and you graduate, you came back, you always had a place to be. You always were proud of your school, you're proud of your team. And that meant a lot. So guys used to come back, stand on the sideline. They used to come to practice. They used to feel invested in the program, even though they were gone. They kind of looked at the guys as brothers, younger brothers.
The relationships that we formed playing for Mattituck and what it meant to play for Mattituck carried over for the rest of my life. Another example is that I recently, the Mattituck boys soccer team made it to the States and won the States, and they were such a fun team to watch. I played soccer with Matt Litchelt, the coach for the boys varsity team at the time. He was 1 year above me, and it was just such a wonderful experience to see him coaching, and the team was so amazing. So I drove up and rented a hotel room and supported Mattituck playing in the States, because the school, the athletic department gave me so much, and so I wanted to support future generations.
After watching all these interviews, I realized that it didn't matter what we played, why we played, or when we played. Mattituck Sports had a similar impact on all of us. It gave us a sense of community. It gave us a family.